Let's do it.
Do you want to do the intro?
I will.
Okay. One, two. Okay. We are live.
Wow, we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first of our attempts to do a live boarding session. Um, this is going to be interesting because we're using a new streaming setup. We've got a new, basically everything. We are not using Hangouts on Air for this one. The only thing that's a constant in this is the fact that we're using a peer-in, which we normally use for meetings. So this is going to be interesting. What we're going to do today is we are going to port a Halium 7.1 based Ubuntu Touch to a new device, or at least that's what we hope we're going to do. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going through the first few steps of the Halium documentation to port to the Fairphone 2. Mine is currently on the battery screen. Other than that, I think we can just jump right in. The reason we're doing the Fairphone 2 today is mainly that the Fairphone has a LineageOS port for 14.1, and we are back on Android 5.1 on it with our compatibility stuff. So we're kind of hoping that if this is a successful port, we'll see better hardware compatibility with the Fairphone 2, like with the new camera and things like that. Other than that, it's also a device that a lot of contributors have, so it was easier for us to all agree on which one we want to do. Hopefully we'll have someone else joining us in a little bit, but I think they're a little busy at the moment. My device won't boot right now, so this is actually good. I wanted to show that we have Lineage on these, but this one just won't boot. So it did have Lineage on it, though.
Mine did too.
Most.
But I'm currently in team win recovery. But there is Lineage.
That's a good place to be.
Yep. So yeah. So that's.
Let me get the watch page up. We're gonna post this
On Telegram.
All right, so shall we start with the first section of the documentation here?
Yep. So
let's do it.
Let's bring up the documentation itself here. Let's go quickly into first steps and see what we need to do.
So the Halium documentation can be found at docs.halium.org, and it is the first place that we're going to be sending you if you ever ask how you'd like to port your device to, or port Ubuntu Touch to your device. My stream is a little bit behind, so take it away.
Yep. So first of all, we're gonna pick an Android target. So this will be really easy for our case. We only have one base that we're gonna target, which is Android 7.1. The kernel is basically gonna be the one that's included with that lineage port.
The Fairphone. So it's got kernel 3.4, which is currently supported by Halium, although some operating systems that work with Halium currently aren't able to run on this old of a kernel. So that's a concern that we might need to be looking into rather soon. But because of the way that we have stayed behind on a few things in Ubuntu Touch, we can still use it.
So we have chosen that port because that's what this gonna target. But now we're gonna start basically from scratch with actually setting up the build device. As you can see here, we have a brand new DigitalOcean droplet. Thank you, DigitalOcean. That we are gonna set up basically from scratch. This is as basic as it gets. So we are gonna follow the instructions on Halium and see that our documentations are good or not.
Yeah, so we might be running into some things with the documentation today. That's actually my hope, so that we can get that updated and better for the future. Anyone who's just coming in, just let us know if there's anything up with the stream or anything like that. I'm watching chat, so I will be listening for you.
Yep. I will also fix that because somehow switching, that's probably a bug in OBS. Switching between monitors will make the window catcher not capture the right window. Great. Uh,
Nice.
so thanks OBS. But yeah, let's get started. Let's actually just follow the documentation and we will copy paste. Let's just jump into the terminal since we don't need to look at that while I copy. So we basically copy whatever it says, copy it into the DigitalOcean droplet.
The first commands are to install some um,
This is to add support for 32-bit hosts on Linux or on Debian,
Debian.
and we'll then run this command. But before that, we should actually do an apt update since this probably hasn't done that um, since it's
Okay,
brand
that's
new.
something.
It probably should be added to the documentation because it's always good to do. And then we're gonna paste
I'm gonna write that down.
this massive commands of tools to install and say yes. And now the magic. This is always fun to much installing packages.
Especially when you have something this fast.
Yep,
UBports is sponsored by DigitalOcean, however, they are not sponsoring this particular video. Um,
right.
that's why I said thanks DigitalOcean before.
Yeah, but change your
To
ocean
help.
in general, not only for sponsoring, but because delivering awesome services. Um,
Two first steps. Steps. Okay, we're gonna add that. As fast as this is, there are a lot of dependencies to install.
yeah, definitely
There are
overwhelming.
also instructions on this page for installing for Arch, and I believe that package is still being updated. So if you're on Arch, you can also get all these dependencies in one little package for you.
Hmm. Uh, I believe that actually says here too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I quickly just pop up the docs, you can actually see it tells you about Arch. I'm not sure who maintains that, um, but
What else do
we can probably check that. Uh,
as we wait for all of our dependencies to install?
yeah, it will be a little bit waiting in this video because of that. Since we are doing it live, we can't really skip it either. So Mr. Doge, and that's Ivan actually.
Ah, okay.
Oh, it's done. Um,
Yeah, it's done.
so then we have actually done the things that will take longest. Okay, downloading the source probably will take a little bit longer. But let's go back to documentation. We have now moved into get the Halloween source. We'll then quickly make a new directory, cd into it, and then do the cleaning, the cloning, initting, and clone syncing itself. Um, so let's
So, Holium uses a little tool called Repo, which was created by the Android um, developers, and it is a way to manage a lot of Git repositories in one directory.
mhm,
So what we're doing here is we are getting a manifest for repo, which is just an XML file that says, this is the source, this is where to put it, and that's all put in um, the GitHub repositories, GitHub/Holium/Android, where you can find that.
so git
We're going to run the command for Holium 7.1 because we're going to do a Lineage 14.1 port today. And Lineage 14.1 is Android 7.1, and all this versioning is really confusing.
Yep. So now I'm just doing some basic git thing that we forgot to do in the beginning. So now it's initialized and should actually check the repository that Dalton just mentioned, and that's in a manifest in .repo/manifest.xml. And here you have all the different dependency that it will download from, as you can see, GitHub. Most of the part of it is from LineageOS, and then you have from GitHub Holium source, and some actually come directly from Google. Not many of them, since many of them are modified by LineageOS or us. Um, so yeah. So now the next step is to do the actual cloning itself. I'm now following the documentation. This has two different parameters here. It has C, which means it only fetches the current branch, and J, which is does this in parallel. And now let's really test the performance of this network. So now it will fetch all these repositories. This will,
It'll probably be about, so for just the current branch, it'll probably be, you know, 5 GB ish of source.
yep. And it's also, we also did a shallow clone, so it'd probably be pretty small. Okay, so this is actually speeding pretty quickly. Uh,
It looks a lot more fun than it really is, guys, because this is 16 different Git processes working right now. Uh,
on a probably a gigabit internet connection.
I think they do 40 gigabit Ethernet between all of their hosts.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay, so this is
we are most certainly being the noisy neighbor right now, though.
yeah. Oh, it it stuck a little bit.
Oh, no, Marius, you just dropped the stream.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
Oh,
And
yeah.
now it's back.
It's fine. It's doing fine.
Every time the wind blows in Norway, we're gonna lose the stream.
Or actually, not. The snow is a problem now.
You know, it's negative
Wait,
26
is it
Celsius here
done?
right now.
What? What the fuck? It's done already. Okay, I'm blown
Okay, that's
away.
pretty good.
Um,
That's really good. Um,
wow. Um, yeah, I expected to ramble a lot more than this, but hey, thanks DigitalOcean. Um, yeah, wow. So while that is doing the final syncing, let's go back to the documentation and do the actual device-specific sources. So we will actually do this from scratch without actually knowing. We will pretend we don't know the names of everything. So we will go to the GitHub organization of LineageOS and search of FP2. Um, Actually, a better is Fairphone because then we get both the kernel and the device itself. So here,
so when you are porting Halium, it is rather important to find a device that has an official port of LineageOS. The unofficial ports will also work, and other Android-based operating systems will work, other ROMs, but LineageOS is the easiest one to use because they require um, the dependencies files and everything else that goes with. My audio is a little bit loud. I can fix that.
I think it's fine.
Let's turn this down just a tad. How's that?
Yep, that's good. So here are the two that we need. We also need the blobs.
Now, a
And
really nice thing with LineageOS is if you go into the device repository on the real, you know, official ports, is they have a lineage.dependencies file. And this shows you all of the sources that you will need in order to actually get a full lineage build. So
yep.
it'll tell you the kernel repository, it'll tell you sometimes the vendor blobs, which you will also need the closed source binaries that you need to put in your tree in order for Halium to actually build.
Hmm.
So it's really nice to have the official ports just for that.
But we will ignore this one, for example, which is an Android package resource device settings, since we don't need that. We will just need the kernel and whatever. Sometimes, yeah, as Dalton said, there is common files and stuff like that. Um, but this basically needs the kernel and also the proprietary blobs, which comes from the Muppets, which is just a smart way of avoiding legal trouble. Um, that's why they have it on a
We don't say
secret.
that.
Well, yeah, but it's pretty obvious because there's no people in here. No one did this. Um, it's just the Muppets that did it, and that's the idea of it. Um, so let's steal that. Let's put that all into. Did Dalton go away?
I shouldn't have.
Oh, he's still here. He's just quiet. Um, So let's actually put this into a local manifest. So we follow the documentation here. I will steal something that I made already, so I don't need to do the formatting of
Yeah.
that.
One of the things that you will run into early in your Holly import is finding your XML syntax is wrong. Um, I have so many times messed up my XML and syntax. In the documentation, there is the template for a manifest, and it'll show you the things that you should paste into your file and just replace the parts.
Hmm.
Um, but I always screw something up. So if you have any problems with that in repo, what'll happen is when you run repo sync, it'll say that there was a parse error. Um, if you're not able to find the issue, just post in Holium or UBport supporting. And though the Holium group is linked in the first steps document, you can find it there so that you can just tell us that you're having trouble and we'll help you out.
Yep. So first of all, we need to make a new directory in .repo/local manifests. And local manifests are basically local manifests that you make that are not connected to Git. Because if you modify the primary manifest, it will be overwritten or has some Git issues once you do an update. If there is changes to the official one, the official manifest from from us, from
Holium.
Halium.
I
So
have done that.
yep, I done that many times too. So let's do that, make that, and then we use nano since um, it's easier. And make something. This doesn't really make sense. It doesn't really matter what the name is, so we just call it fp2.xml. And then paste in what I already made, which is just a simple XML files. You can find all this, how you make this, and how to make it correctly on the docs. Are more in depth. You can't really see it because um, the
It's
ultimate
small.
it's small and yeah. But trust me, um, this works. And once you have done that, we need to do a sync again. This will basically just sync everything again, including the local manifest. And since we have this awesome network, this will go pretty smoothly, even the kernel, hopefully. So this is just cruising away.
We there are instructions in the documentation to add your Holium local manifest to the Holium devices repository. And the Holium devices repository is a place where there's a script to automatically set up all of this for you. Once someone has committed a
Oh wow, it's done
I
already.
just saw YouTube chat, sorry. Once you've committed one of those to the Holium devices repository, anyone can come along and just run that script to get this all set up for them. And that's really nice for getting new contributors on board or just to help people build your port so that they're able to test it themselves.
Hmm.
If you don't have maybe the upload speed to upload full images for yourself, like one of the people on this chat right now.
Hmm. So yeah, now we already have done this. Now the downloading is done. Um, and I think I will say goodbye to the DigitalOcean ones because we basically just use that for the network speed, and I will return back to my safe Ryzen machine. Um,
Where he has already done all of this.
yeah, we're basically done this beforehand. Basically, so we don't have to wait hours for it to clone. Since that I don't have that network speed yet.
When, whenever the wind blows, the internet in Norway dies.
Yeah, yes, whole Norway dies. The we only have the intranet, so we can connect to local banks and stuff. But the whole outside connection is dead. Yeah. So let's go back to the trusty documentation and see what we do next. So we have done all this device repository. We can vendor blobs. We have done remotes. We can jump over that. This is just the remote's name. We can
There
jump
are
over that.
also instructions in this file to document your device in the Holium repository
Hmm.
down under the supplementary information chapter. I believe that's already been done for the Fairphone. It has. So there's information on current distributions that support the device, as well as what the kernel is, how up to date the mainline kernel is, if you can use that, and all of those useful resources that you might find.
I see Bushan did catch that I'm using Plasma, and I think you do too. Yeah,
With the default background, I am also on the default background.
yeah. I never change the default. The default, well, actually, I changed the layout, but other than that, default is king.
Up next, we have the actual fun part. And
Hmm.
by fun, I mean the part where you're going to get very, very upset at your device.
Yeah.
We're going to build Holium.
So let's go to the next step and start from this. Just copy paste. Uh, this is at the beginning is a lot more copy paste than it will be in the end. We are getting less and less copy paste, but basically we do that and we do um, just to completely follow the documentation because there's two different commands here. You can use breakfast and you can use lunch depending on when.
Depending on which version of Android you're using. So
Yeah.
mainly for Holium 7.1 or Lineage 14 ports, you're going to be working with the breakfast command, where you run breakfast followed by your device's code name.
Hmm.
And basically what that does is puts a lot of environment variables in the environment, because the Android build system works by just checking a bunch of environment variables, taking all of these makefiles from around the tree and putting them in one giant makefile, which is kind of ugly, and it makes sense why they've completely replaced it in Android 8 and 9. Uh, but we're still dealing with 7 here.
So this does not have that makefile, as you can see, so it doesn't show up in the automatic thingy. Um,
Right.
so what we have to do then is basically do it manually, and that will be what will it be on this one? A LineageOS lineage underscore uh, fp2 eng. Is that correct? Yeah, I did it, guys. Uh, so basically, what you do is LineageOS underscore the device name and dash eng, which means for engineering build. Engineering build and user debug, and user just means user is non-debuggable, while engineering is full debuggable and
And it
user
can
debug.
also include different packages, but we don't have that problem in Holium because we use absolutely no APK packages.
Yeah. So now we have done this, but we also have to do some kernel fix up, and we also need to run the automatic script. I think I actually jumped over that because that was in the last
Yeah,
documentation.
the automatic script is what you'll use after you have your device in Holium devices, but
Hmm.
if you're just getting started, we probably don't have our device there yet.
Yeah, that's that's this script, the holium slash device slash setup that you can use. But I was more referring to the new script that I haven't used before. Uh, I don't know what step that is to
I'm lost. Are you talking about modifying the kernel config?
no, it's the automatic fixer upper script.
Oh, that is the setup script.
Oh, it is a setup script. Okay.
Yep. We'll do it all manually because we're barbarians.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Let's do it manually.
um,
So I'm just jumping between sources here, so let's actually go back to where I was. And the next script is modifying the kernel configuration. Um, so we it does mention the mir check tool here, um, but I do like using the
right.
one.
The Holium documentation is still it's leaning a little bit more towards the um, non-Ubuntu Touch side at the moment. We do use a few different configs and a few different scripts. So
Yeah.
that is documented in the UbiPorts documentation under the porting information section, which we can go to after we get these steps done.
Yep. But actually, I can open that up, that documentation from UFOS right now to actually check the kernel config. Um, but I think we can, for this purpose, um, I can just, this is the script that I like to use. Um, It's that one. I will paste it in here. It's from an old canonical canonical employee, and it's the best thing ever, um, because it's just so simple.
This is the automatic kernel breaking script.
Yep. So I will just get that and chmod it and plus x pablet. No, not that one. It's the check config one. And check config, we can see what. And dash W means break everything. And I can see now that you guys are actually not seeing the screen because OBS is not liking me today. Now you can see me.
This script is also located in the Halium boot repository, which hopefully we'll be able to add that to the documentation soon.
Oh,
Let
it
me
is?
write myself another note. Yes, it is. I'm sorry.
Okay. So now I'm just finding the kernel config, and that's in the in kernel slash Fairphone slash fp2 slash arch slash arm slash config and lineageOS
Could you say
fp2.
that any faster, please?
Kernel Fairphone, no, it's a tongue twister. But this is basically command check config dash w kernel config, um, and then the lineageOS fp2 def config. You run that, and it's a little bit picky. You have to have the w afterwards, not before.
And if you don't know the path to your
Bang.
kernel config, you can find it inside of your board config file in your device repository. That is also documented in the documentation.
Yep.
Sometimes these will be called lineage underscore whatever Fairphone def config whatever, and sometimes they won't. So that is something that you need to be careful of. You need to find the actual target one in the board config file.
Yes. So let's pull up the documentation again, since we have done this step with actually getting the modified kernel, and then you have the fix up mount points. Um,
We actually won't be doing the fix up mount points, so we might run into an issue. I thought I had fixed it, but maybe I haven't. Where Hybris boot will try to fix it anyway, even if we don't have it in the file. We'll see if that actually happens, though.
yep. So yeah, I have to follow, and I have to be careful now because OBS somehow it just switches things automatically. So I need to be careful about that. So yeah, let's skip that as Stolten said, and let's get into making the boot image. MKA boot image. But we will actually do something different. We will actually do directly, instead of doing that, we'll use MKA Allium boot and not do Hybris boot, since we use a much prettier
Sorry,
script.
anyone who's helping for Hybris boot today.
Yeah, no Hybris boot. So let's see how this goes. I have not built this before.
It's gonna fail. It
It's
is totally gonna fail. So, one I haven't seen it fail yet, but I'm sure it has.
oh, that was quick.
Yeah.
Um,
When you enable all of these different kernel configs in your device, when Android forks their kernel, they fork before the actual release of the kernel version they're using in some cases. So they'll be like a month or two before the actual kernel release, where there might still be some bugs. But because Android devices don't use the drivers and things that we use in Ubuntu Touch and Halium, you're going to experience issues. There's going to be bugs uh, existing that were possibly fixed in the actual that tree of Linux, and you might need to do some patches for that. Now, it's at my understanding is Marius has some patches ready, but we might need to do some work in order to apply them here.
yeah, and also the problem here is my fault here.
Of
Since
course it is.
yeah, since this, I uh, I named the source repository for the kernel wrong. Instead of Fairphone MSN 8974, I called it FP2 since that's what we use on 5.1. So I will quickly edit that. I will not. So now you can actually see how you, if you want to edit that yourself, you can do it. And you will then open up boardconfig.mk, and it will here state where the kernel is source is specified, and I will call that fp2 instead of the long name, since this won't be a universal kernel anyway, so we can just call it FB2. And now actually do the build itself. Let's see if we get any farther now.
Totally, we will. There's no doubt.
It's building stuff.
You just haven't seen the error yet. It's still scrolling by. There are a couple of ways that you could have solved that problem, though. You could also change the directory where you're downloading source to the one that uh, Lineage wanted.
Yeah.
And to do that, you would change it in your local manifest file.
Or you can do it the kamikaze way and just mv or cp the directory.
But if you do things like that, you will have trouble with repo later when you try to sync your repositories.
Yes, but in fairness, you will probably edit the source of the kernel anyway, since we have to make modifications to it. So we probably will modify it to hopefully LineageOS. No, hopefully Halium, since we want to. It will be cool to have one place for all, like LineageOS.
This has failed, right?
No, still building.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I mean, I know my stream is about 20 seconds behind, but wow.
I don't like that about using Ninja, the new make thingy, because it doesn't show kernel output. But hey,
It normally, what?
it just says building kernel.
Oh.
Yeah. Hopefully MKA doesn't it's parallel automatically, right?
Yes.
So
MKA means it's basically make dash J whatever how many kernel or how many CPUs you have.
so hopefully that won't kill the well, I only use 5% CPU on OBS though. Ryzen is also awesome.
Ryzen is awesome, and anyone out there, we aren't sponsored by AMD, but you should buy a Ryzen processor.
Not sponsored, but buy it anyway. Oh, it failed. Would you look at
There
that?
we go.
So let's scroll up and see where it failed. I will suggest it's something with USB storage. That's just a warning. It's probably something with the NS thingy.
Oh yeah, it's probably user namespaces.
Ah, it's
If you ever use a device with kernel 3.4, you will almost definitely have an issue with user namespacing,
but
which
it's
is
not.
it's a
It's
containerization feature.
it's a netfilter x conbytes, and
Oh, I've seen that.
yeah, that's a normal one. So it's a simple fix for that. It's basically just disable it because we don't use it. Well, some people might use it, but normally it won't be used. Uh, so then we go into kernel fb2, Fairphone fb2, arch, arm, config, lineageOS. We're also doing the kamikaze way of editing the kernel def configs manually. Normally we use the, the graphical terminal interface that the kernel Linux kernel folks had made.
Menu config.
Menu config. But it's just easier when you know specifically what to change. You just search for it, and it's just search for conbytes and set that to no. And then we will do a rebuild.
We
And
have a couple of questions in chat that I'll take while you're rebuilding.
mhm.
So, first question, isn't the Fairphone 2 already a promoted device? Yes, it is. And for that reason, we'll know what's working and not working compared to normal. Uh, the answer will probably be almost everything is not working, but that's okay. Also, we would like to have a 7.1 port for it around, since we think that'll give us better hardware compatibility with like the new camera and the new screen. It's also it's a known quantity for us. We've already done some of the patches that we need in order to get it working, so we're able to get it up and running faster and just show the steps to doing this rather than the hours of debugging that you will probably be doing.
Mhm.
So that's why we're using the Fairphone 2. The next question was, is it possible to port to a device with a MediaTek chip? It is. However, MediaTek is very protective about its IP, and normally you won't find an Android device tree or kernel source for the device. It is technically possible, but in many cases you'll have some trouble with it.
Yep. So here we have an error that I have seen before, but we have a fairly simple fix for that. Since we are not doing any type of modifications here, this is user namespace error, and it's the one that we talked about before. Um, and we have the source code that we made before already here. And this is an error that we need to treat. I just need to find a patch that I made for that back in the day. I wonder if it actually, this actually,
And I just wrote down to add this to the documentation after we're done.
add, add what?
Add this to the documentation after we're done.
All right, that's cool. I need to find this patch on the, because I haven't wrote this down. Of course, I didn't do that. That's very nice of me. It might actually just be a new for the Fairphone 2, a new bug or a new error that wasn't there before.
Yes, the simple solution, Bhushan, is to disable user NS.
Yep.
We could do that.
We probably can do that as a quick fix now. Yep, let's do that. User NS and then fix it later. User NS new. Um, but maybe later on we will show how to make that a real fix.
Or we'll just put that in the documentation.
Or we can put
In the
that.
documentation pages, there are documented errors for this, any steps where we've hit problems and they have reproducible fixes. So if you look down, it's normally at the bottom of whatever page you're on, documented errors. It'll tell you how you can fix it.
Mhm. So now let's see if this builds successfully. That, because there was
We
more.
can't be that lucky.
Well, there seems to be some difference from when I did it back in the day. So we probably won't really need many of the things that I did back then, like modifying the make file because it was broken and everything. So we might be lucky. It's still going, but we can't see the
Hasn't
output.
failed yet.
This is the fun part, looking at something with no output. I can hear my fans spinning up.
I don't have that problem. My computer's rather quiet.
Yeah,
It's scary.
it's really quiet, but there is just one fan that come
Oh,
included with the case. That's the problem.
oh.
Because the fan on the water block itself is like super quiet, but the fan that come included, I don't know why I have it. I can just
You could unplug it.
I could unplug it. Oh, it failed. Cool.
Uh, what else is new?
Ooh. So this is undefined reference to PID and S operations. So we might actually need to disable PID and F. I don't think there's other errors here other than that.
PID namespacing we might need.
It's just a warning. Yeah, it's a warning. Yeah, so that's the only one is undefined to PID and F and S. So I will see if that was something I fixed in the other kernel real quick here. If not, we might actually look at see if there is to PID and S operations. Okay, so these are new ones. These are definitely new ones. That's not good that they are new. That's not fun. So let's do the good old let's check Google or startpage.com. Okay. I think for a quick fix we can
I don't think we can disable this one though.
well, for now we can.
Oh, until it boots.
Between it boots. And then we can
We're
fix it.
we are probably going to need to re-enable this one.
Yeah, but just for quickly going through the actual init steps without doing too much stops. We will skip that one for now until we are deep in with the debugging itself.
We'll come back to this.
Yeah, we might also not need it. Who knows?
We probably need it.
Yeah, with our luck we do. Let's hear what Bushan says.
He says it might be needed.
Ah, okay. So it's
See if I can find a patch for this while you're doing it.
yeah.
It's building.
It's still building, and it's done. Make successfully.
What?
Woo!
I don't believe it.
Whoa!
That was too easy.
That was too easy. Yeah, it was.
We are going to come back to the NS era, though.
But now let's do mka system image in one. Is that one word or two words? Never
It's one
mind.
image.
It's one image. Yeah, I know it's one image. Oh, it failed. Okay, so now it comes to the fun part that we are gonna do, which actually the setup script does for you automatically. But we will now go through and remove every APA files in stuff basically. So time series, I do believe this actually comes from the binary blobs. So let's check the binary blobs first. We'll open the binary blobs. We'll go into vendor, Fairphone, FP2, and we'll open the. Let's start with the FP2 vendor and goes through. We'll then search for APK, and it was not found in that one. Maybe it's in the Android itself. Here we go. APK. There you can see. It's the first one that comes up, and it's the time service.apk. Basically, what we do is remove this. We don't need it. Any APK stuff, we don't need it. We just
And also
remove
any Java libraries.
it. Any lab.
Now,
I don't think
the
there is
setup
any.
script should do this for you
Yep.
before you build. However, if it doesn't, this is what you'll need to do.
Yeah, you basically just rip it out. And then you continue on, and it seems to be happy, and it's building. Now let's see the speed of Ryzen. It's going pretty fast. 3%, 4%. It's cruising along. Having 16 threads is pretty nice.
Can we link the kernel source? Of course we can. I'll find that for you.
Okay, this is cruising along. Okay, this is what gets a developer heart happy.
Building stuff.
No, building stuff fast. Because waiting for things is always boring, but waiting for things going quickly is fun. So if this builds successfully, we have been incredibly lucky because usually there are some knickknacks you need to remember, or basically. But we removed like 3 APKs. Um, this might not be for all devices. Ooh,
Rather far through now, so I don't know if we can turn up the volume now.
ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, I, my rise need to calm a little bit down now. It took a little bit too much of my CPU, so I will
Too hot.
no OBS complaining. So I will set it to J14 instead. Okay, now it's green again. So yeah. So yeah, that's happening when it just used all the threads to build and whatnot. Turn up my OBS volume. I will do. Cool, cool, cool. Is that better? Hopefully we don't blow anyone's ears right now if I turn it up too much. But oh, it failed. How lucky. That's exactly what we wanted because we wanted to show off what failed here. Okay, so this was not the funnest error that happened. The Lexer Why did
Oh,
why
flex.
why did flex fail?
That's a documented error.
Is it? Oh well.
Yeah, it totally is. Here you go.
Let's Okay, so then it wasn't as unlucky as we wanted it to be, because it's a documented error. Why is this fixed upstream? Who didn't fix this upstream?
Us.
Oh, oh, can avoid. Oh, okay, okay, okay. So it's just a simple fix. C lang, set lang to C. Cool, 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 cool. It's- So let's continue
The
our
alternative is to use the host flex, which is not documented.
right. That's what we
So
do
flex on
on.
your on your.
That's pretty sure what we do on Android 5, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
How is it sound now, by the way? Anyone? Is it good?
They still say it's low, but one person says it's low. Other people are okay with it.
Oh, it's low. Oh, okay. But yeah, I have it on almost to the yellow mark, so should be good. It shows that the level is as high as Dalton's, though. I don't know.
Maybe the stream master volume. I don't know.
Yeah, but then yours, they say yours is lower.
Use the host flex. Can you give us the command, buddy?
Well, we already gone through this error now, though, so. Yeah, still sipping along. My volume is at 200% and it's okay. Okay. Um, master volume is
Turn up your own microphone.
yeah, but oh yeah, right. That's
Yeah.
it's a, it's at max level. What the fuck? Um, uh, let's crank. Let's crank. Okay, is it better now? Now I cranked it pretty bad. So sorry if you have it on 200%. I blow out your ears right now.
I have also turned mine down for that.
Okay, now yours is low.
This is good.
Oh man, speaker at 100. Notification. Okay, is it better now? It should be better now. Now it goes out to the yellow mark level.
Yes, it
Now
is okay now.
it's
Good.
okay. Okay, but you're a little bit low on my end though, Dalton. So
Well, turn up your. Oh wait, you can't do.
yeah, then I
Oh
turn
well.
up for everyone. Okay, so it's at 60% building. I can now feel the heat coming from the horizon.
Again, everyone, this is the first time we have used OBS for this,
Hmm.
so we're going to find issues here.
Yeah, but I think it's much smoother than I thought it was for being video on Linux. It's good. And pulse mute your phone. That's a good idea. We are not professionals yet. You don't like the notification sound of Ubuntu Touch? Dalton is quiet. Oh, it's 99%. No errors. Except that one, but that was documented. Oh, you mean that notification? Ah, okay. I thought you meant my phone. You know you can talk to me, right? Desktop notification, play sound. Okay, cool. Now we can test the notification if you want. Still
It
chugging
is
along.
about to build the image.
Make complete. I don't know. This went too smooth, this stuff working, so let's go to the breaking of things.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to re-enable PidNS.
Probably. But
That's gonna bite.
but now let's actually do things on the device itself. Now let's jump back to the documentation, since the documentation is where we are at. Documented errors. We have gone through that. Let's actually pull up the documentation. There we go. Now we have Hybris boot. No, we don't. We have a UbiForce boot and not UbiForce. We have
Volume boot.
Halium boot and system image. Yes, we do. Common kernel error, build errors. I can just.
PidNS isn't in there.
It isn't. Okay, let's go to the next one. Signar is missing. We have done that already. That's actually one of the things that we did. This one is the one where I remove the APKs. This Hybris boot stuff, we are gonna skip the Flax one we did come across. And now we are gonna to go to install Halium. So let's go to next. So now we're gonna do install Hybris boot first. No, we are not. We are gonna install
We're gonna install
UbiForce
Volume boot.
Halium boot. Anyway,
Marius is very confused at what the boot image is anymore. I think everyone is though. We're gonna fix that soon, I hope.
yeah, it's I don't know why Aperion is a little bit stuck, but hey, that's fine. So now let's cd into out, or you can do cout. Cout is a good way of going to the out directory. You can then list, and here you can see system image, and you can see Halium boot. Now we are gonna put the device itself. I will actually do this and turn the camera to point
Oh boy, here we go.
down. You can now see my messy. I will just do a cleanup a little bit so you can actually see the stuff. I
Professional.
I cleaned up and swiped unlike reboot and reboot the bootloader.
Let's discuss this at FOSDEM. Yes, let's do that.
Discuss what? My cleanup?
Volume, Volume boot.
Okay. Yeah. Do not install. We don't need a Trurp app, and we are now. You can't see anything, but it is
So
in
this is
recovery.
brighter than the sun, but his device is now in the bootloader mode or fast boot.
Fastboot device S and my password. Ooh, ooh! You can see my keyboard. You can actually see what I typed there, and that was quickly avoided that issue. Let me do this. That was almost to a point where I showed a password.
Good work.
Good work, me. I spotted it though. And then we need to do flash, boot, and Halium boot image. It's sending and it says OK. So now you do sudo fastboot reboot. And while I do that, I will hold the up button so it actually reboots into recovery.
Now, there are different ways to get every device into recovery. On most of them, you will get a menu in Fastboot nowadays, but Fairphone didn't want to do that. So, to get into bootloader mode on the Fairphone, you hold power and volume down. To get
Hmm.
into recovery, you hold power and volume up while you're booting.
Yep. So now we
So,
are
once
in.
you're in recovery,
Yep.
you are in.
Okay. Once we are in recovery, since this actually has LineageOS on it, first I will do is to do a full wipe, basically destroy everything and destroy the world. And then I will do an advanced wipe and just check out everything on this. So
Except for the modem partition. Every device is different, so don't just
it
go willy
doesn't.
nilly at it.
I don't think it shows up modem partition, but if it shows, don't wipe it. But this shows just basically the normal stuff like cache system. Um, yeah, you can
Again,
see.
if you ever have a question during this process, um, ask in the Halium group, ask in the UbiPorts porting group. We'll help you out.
Yeah. So now it's formatting the system. Just start out with a completely clean device. This will also, if you don't know, this will destroy everything data-wise, but I think you got that. It will also destroy LineageOS and everything, but hopefully you knew that. And it vibrates telling me it's done. We'll then go back and do the rest from ADB. So now we are going to go back to the documentation. We actually going to switch documentation. We are going to switch to the UbiPorts one, since we are done gonna do more UbiPort specific documentation that shows black, because OBS again is not playing nicely. So let's go over to the UbiPorts documentation, go to reporting information, go to installing, and we are done the flashing already. We will then go to the Holium installer standalone. We will actually get that directly from JBB. Thank you, JBB. We'll put this directly into, and the OBS took the wrong terminal window again. Thank you, OBS. You are very nice.
Having a good day, Marius.
Yeah, I do. I'm trying to do this quickly because we already have like a 2-hour stream yesterday in it. So, yeah.
No, it's just an hour. We're only an hour in.
All right. Yeah, we started a little
We're
bit
doing
earlier.
good.
Okay, so Holium install standalone. We'll then do a chmod plus x Holium
Make it executable
install.
so you can actually run it as a script.
Yep. Let's go back to the documentation and let's see what it says next. It will then see -p ut, which means the product to be Ubuntu Touch. We'll
At
then
this
have
point, he is basically just copy pasting from the documentation.
basically, yeah. So I will copy this, and now is the magic. Do I remember? Oh, thing went black. Okay, so every time I move Windows, it goes away. Okay, let's not.
That makes sense. Is that Gwake? No, that is the Ubuntu Touch Terminal app.
Yeah, this is the Ubuntu Touch terminal app. It's pretty nice. I use it. It's scaled indefinitely now, so you can actually see it. But actually, it's pretty nice normally. So let's run Halium install. We need to have the dot slash since we actually are. Now I need to remember where I actually put the root file system, which is actually, let me open a different terminal while I find that, so you can snook around in my personal belongings. Even though I don't really have anything.
Take a breath.
Yeah, trying. Where did I place that? Actually, let's just download it.
Download it again.
Yeah, why not? So let's find out where that is. We can follow the documentation. It says to follow the CI server. This says the normal CNL root file system, but we will actually use Edge.
What he's getting now is the Ubuntu Touch root file system, which is
Yes.
all of the software for Ubuntu Touch, basically.
So we
What
use
we've
the
built,
CNL Hybris Edge root file system arm. Hey F. Yep, go ahead.
What we've built previously to this is the Halium compatibility stuff for Android devices. And the actual Ubuntu Touch software comes from our CI server or wherever else you get it. That's probably the best place, though.
Yep. I'm getting 100 megabits. That's pretty nice.
Wow.
This is Axel is going pretty quickly at it. Oh wow, my network speed is really nice today.
There's no wind in Norway today.
No, it is actually not.
It's just cold.
Just snow, cold.
How cold is it over there?
It's about 5 minus. C, that is. What's that in freedom units?
It is 23 below Celsius right now.
20. Oh wow. What's that in freedom units? So the other.
16, about 16 below, 10 below, 10 below.
Okay.
Now.
So now we have actually downloaded this. That was fairly quickly. And now we will run the JBB's wonderful script and -put. We use the Ubuntu Touch root file system and system.image. We are now following the documentation. I will pull up the documentation again so you can see we are following that exactly. We go back to the terminal and run that. This will install everything. It will also tell me to install some dependencies. So we will do that as he says. That was quick. Now run the script itself. And now let the magic happen.
JBB script is it's a lot better than our old tools to do this in a lot of ways. The old tools would rely on
Here I
the.
set the password to 1111. Sorry for interrupting. Oh wow.
Our old scripts would depend on the system recovery system to unpack files and do archiving, which newer versions of twerp aren't always reliable at, or other recovery software. um, so JBB script does it all on your host and then pushes a big image over to the device. It's a little slower in the pushing that big image over, but it's a lot faster in that you don't have to keep worrying about your device uh, recovery not working correctly.
So Torp had a little upsie here since the formatting it somehow didn't mount it correctly. So
Oh yeah,
I just rebooted the image and let's run this script again. This went fairly quickly. On my laptop, this script goes a lot slower, but the relocating of the resizing on on this went really nicely. So again, 1111 as the password. So relocating blocks. I do assume this is multi-threaded. It seems like it. And now the pushing. This is what Dalton said. This takes longer than a normal one, but it's a lot more reliable. And actually, it makes it faster in the end, since it doesn't have to extract on the device itself.
that can also be slow depending on how fast your device is.
Yeah. So it is a little bit of waiting with porting. Um, But yeah, I will also show a different script that I personally use a lot when developing afterwards, and it's the replace system image. It's again from Yanamo, which is an old canonical player, the same that made the kernel script. And it's basically just um, replacing this Android container image without replacing the the whole
The
root file.
entire image. It's a
Yeah,
lot faster because it's only pushing about a 2 to 400 megabytes rather than 2 gigabytes.
yeah. But it was a much bigger deal back then because we have a different then we have everything mounted inside the root file system. Now it's actually outside in data, so it doesn't matter as much now as it did before because now we can just push
We
it.
are getting very close to trying to boot this. I can guarantee you it won't work, but stay tuned.
Yeah, we need to change the script first. So yeah,
No, not an edge. You've got that.
no on edge. Okay, so it might actually just boot.
It probably won't because the container probably won't come up.
Yeah, but hey, if it boots, just boots. We have lucky succeeded. How easy it is to port.
How easy it is to start.
Easy.
If that does boot to graphics, I think I'm going to. Well, first I'm going to end the stream because
We're done.
some demons have
Some demons.
possessed your computer.
But yeah, it won't boot because we are missing UDEV rules, so it only shows spinner if it does get to that point. But I am with Dalton. I don't think it will even show spinner because the container probably will complain. But let's see. And this will also be faster once we get USB 3.1 or 3
Nebraska,
capacity.
what are you asking for a link for? And yes, we do need to enable PID-NS. You are completely correct. That is definitely not going to work.
PDNS. Yeah, that's a thing too.
Well, it's the containerization stuff.
Yeah, It's a good point. Built on NASA's Titan. Uh, Close.
Th- Well, NASA's Titan, Ryzen 7 2800. It's about the same.
Same deal.
Yeah.
Probably the same as NASA had 20 years ago. Yeah, this pushing you only had to do once also, so yeah. The PID-NS, are you still searching out for a fix for that?
Oh, the script to replace the system.image? I believe that's in Halium scripts. Also, you can
It,
also do
is
you
it?
can convert the system image to a non-sparse image and then push it to the location where it is on the data partition. But I'll see if I can find that script. GitHub.com, Halium.
I have it here, the modified one, which the actual one. Um,
We don't need to worry about the modified one anymore. The standard one will work. It's in here.
I don't. What are we talking about?
Replace Android image.
The one from Yanimo? That won't work.
Yeah, there's one here. It works. I've used it. Pretty sure.
Well, where are we fetching it from? Is it if it have to be modified because it has to push it to slash data?
It does.
Okay, so it is a modified one.
Yes.
Okay,
It's fine.
yeah. You
I
said
have
it was
one
unmodified.
question. Since we're working on this, when rootfs and system image fails on flashing via ADB, what could be the cause? My Cernia port is stuck on this and it does not boot properly. What we need to see are the actual errors that you're getting there. Because the rootfs and system image are just being pushed over. So if you're having an error even doing that, there might be something else underlying that we'll need to take a look at.
Yep. So now it's pushing system in and cleaning up and it's done. I'm pretty sure it didn't. No, it didn't reboot it automatically. So now let's do a reboot
It does
now.
not reboot automatically. Thank goodness.
Why not? I like that.
You are wrong.
So it did show up in the interface here, wireless interface. So that's
What?
good. Not wireless, I
Oh,
mean.
it gave you a. Yeah. So both Halium Boot and Ubuntu Touch have scripts inside of them to enable a USB um, Ethernet interface.
Hmm.
Um, and I believe that there is some information on troubleshooting Halium Boot. Did you get into the Halium Boot telnet?
No,
Or
I'm
what are you getting?
currently changing to the IP address thingy.
Okay, it actually booted.
Yeah,
That's good.
that is good.
That's really good.
There's still nothing on the screen, but I think we expected that.
Oh, totally. There's no way that was going to work.
Not with that attitude. Okay, now let's see if we can SSH into it. Because I think we just skipped telnet completely. Yes! Woo! 1111. And we're in Luxin. That was easy. So now let's see dmessage and yeah, LXC Android container is failing. Who knew? Who knew? Well, we have get to this point. We have get to this point, Dalton. We have done good. Cool. So now it's the it's pretty much. I don't think we can hear you, Dalton. I don't know if you're not talking. Yeah, blame Bushons, Katie.
Blame KDE. This is where some of the device-specific stuff starts coming in,
Yeah.
where every device is going to be different once you get to this point. Everyone is going to be a little more annoying.
So this is the point where it comes from. Either someone has done it before and it's maybe documented, or you are completely unknown. And that's the hard. This is where most of the hard part of porting comes. You come to a point where, yeah, as Dalton says, device specific. What I think are what we should start with is the kernel issue that we had, and actually go back to that as we said we would. Um, so just exit out of this right now. We have done the.
Everyone's like, how is this working? We don't know, guys. We don't know.
Well, is it working?
I mean, it booted. Most of the time, it doesn't even boot.
So Boshan is also on the PID-NS. But while he's doing that, we will go to C, not C out, C root, and do nano again. Actually, I have this fancy search thing. So nano, uh, this fancy, that's the fancy search one. Um, so I can do nano, and I see I did nano before. It's the history searcher. I don't know what the script is called, but it's pretty neat. It's better than original Control
What?
R.
What?
It's a Control R. It's an improved Control R, but I
Oh,
don't
you can't
remember.
improve Control R. It's already the best thing.
No, this
Anyone who hasn't heard of this before, open your Bash shell now, press Control R, and type in a command.
no, this Control R is good. This Control R is so much better.
Whatever you say.
Comment this out, Bushan says.
Oh, this is exciting. I will be. I'll take just a few minutes break. I'll be right back.
Yep, I'm waiting, Bushan. Comment what out? Yes. Oh, it's on. Um. Oh man, it's on Top Chat. Sorry about that, Bushan. I had the YouTube chat on Top Chat, so it didn't show it. Um, that line. Okay, let's open that line in FS. So nano kernel Fairphone fp2 fs proc namespaces pid and s operations. Okay, let's comment that out and do make again and key a Halium boot. Let's see if this works. If this works, and when Dolphin comes back. Yes, sorry. It was on Top Chat, so I didn't see the link because it hides on Top Chat. It hides every link. So yeah, cool, cool, cool. It's building the kernel. Let's see how this goes. It's a lot more quiet without Dalton. A lot more awkward. Let's see if this goes through correctly. Whoa, it made complete. Nice, nice, nice. Thank you for that, Bushan. Thank you. Now we will reboot the device into recovery. No, not recovery. Into bootloader, and we go to C out again. Trying to type as while as I do that. There we go. And also, yeah, to explain the problem that um, that Bushan so what he says here is basically kernel vendor backports some new drivers and bringing half patches to retrieve. So basically, they cherry pick or merge things upstream, but they only merge some of it, and pieces of it comes. And NSPID is never fully implemented in 3.4, as it says. Um, so it's a bit. The Android kernel has always been a bit of a Frankenstein build. Um, so yeah, I will now do the fastboot flash again and do fastboot reboot. And now let's see if this boots. Probably won't. But hey, it's allowed to hope.
I'm back with a jacket. This
Oh
room
wow.
is really cold.
Yeah, it's really cold here too, but I'm Nordic animal. So we have fixed the kernel thanks to Bushan.
Yay.
We commented out a line and it works. So now let's log into this again. I need to set the interface again.
So, since the Android container might have started, it might just reboot on you because of the watchdog.
Yep.
Ubuntu Touch thinks it's really smart and tries to save itself if it's rebooting a lot. So, if your device just reboots randomly after you get Ubuntu Touch installed on it, don't panic.
So now you can access connection refused. What did I do wrong? Disconnect. Connect. No, what did
It
it? Maybe it's
might have
do.
rebooted.
Maybe it's doing that. Connection is still up though, so that's weird. Um,
Did you reboot into bootloader?
I did a fast. No, it's the interface is up, so no. Let's see.
Did you accidentally set your IP to 10.15.19.82?
No,
I've done that before.
it's to 100 now. Okay, so it does get a ping from it though, but connection refused. So probably what happened here is what Dalton said would happen.
No,
Um,
he's not in bootloader.
so let's actually wait for that to do. Actually, I can just reboot it manually. So what happens is that the watchdog is collecting stuff and doing stuff.
It tries to start LightDM and the graphical Ubuntu Touch 3 times and then gives up and reboots.
So let's see if it comes back up successfully now. So now I set the interface to automatically connect, and it did with the correct IP, and we are in like sin. If I can
Quickly do sudo stop LightDM.
sudo stop I light DM if I can type.
Not fast enough.
Not fast enough, no. Okay, so it's stopping that. Cool, cool, cool. Let's check the message. Um, and I can immediately see what's going on here. And it's basically all the app services that are killing it. Um, so the container is now starting, and that's nice. But the container is not fully starting, or is it? Maybe it is. Um, so let's get internet going. We will then go back to the documentation, which is a wonderful thing. We will then go to where is this documentation? Debug volume, I think it is, and Wi-Fi. And since this is a Qualcomm device, we will. Oh, the device just rebooted. I might have been
What?
too.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice.
Watchdog is a beautiful thing.
Let's bring it into recovery and show how to actually stop that from happening.
Yeah, let's go into recovery and do that. Oh, no, let's not touch it.
What? But
Uh,
that's not possible. That phone is a demon.
uh,
I don't trust it.
you guys can see this, but this actually
Bring it up to
boots.
the. Yeah.
Okay, so now we actually just need to make the UDEV rules, and we should be on our
That
way.
that is a demon. I don't trust that. That phone is going to burn your house down.
It hasn't done it yet. I had it for 2 years. But hey,
That should not have worked.
But this is good. This is actually good. I will show you afterwards what we would have to done and how to disable all these madness services. I will do that
How?
afterwards. But this is good. This is how it should be, and this is how the thing works. So now it isn't
So,
starting now because of the UDEL rules, and we fully expected that.
yeah.
But
So right now it's on the boot screen. It is trying to start all of the services needed to show you the Unity 8 interface of Ubuntu Touch, but it's failing.
it doesn't have permission, basically. So I wonder, do you have documentation on this? How to make the UDEL rule somewhere?
Sure do.
So let's pull up the documentation. I'm not sure if that's on. Is
It's in
that on
debug Halium. It's the third section. Add UDEV rules.
Duvial UDEL rules? Would you look at that? Would you look at that? So this command definitely won't work since we need to have sudo instead. So let's pop
You
that
can do that.
without. We need sudo sed, don't we?
Run sudo-i.
Yeah, sure. Sudo-i. And I will actually go back to OBS and change it to actually show the terminal. Now we are in root. We will run this, the code name we set to fp2. Bang, it's read-only file systems. So we need to do, this is because we are using read-only file systems. We need to do mount o rv comma remount slash and then do that and do reboot. So now it should, in theory, boot into Unity 8 and everything should be fine and handy and dandy. Are we gonna hope for that? Are we gonna hope for that? What are the chat saying?
I think firmware bits are also broken, so you won't have UDEV rules.
Uh, this is. Let's see. Let's see what happened. Didn't FP2 rules already exist in the rules file system? No.
Well, they do. No, they don't.
No.
Do they? Yes.
They come with
Uh,
they come with the device overlay,
hmm.
the system image overlay also. So let's see if Unity 8 boots finally. Finally.
I have no hope for this.
Oh, you can see if the exposure wouldn't be.
Yeah, just lift it up. Lift it on up. There you go.
So let's see if it actually starts or we need to do something else. It doesn't look like it. So let's log in, back in again, and see what's going on in .cache, upstart, unity8.log, and we have a mirror error. This is basically a permission error. So I think this actually places in the wrong folder, does it? This places it in ET3. No, that's not correct. That's not correct for us.
What?
We should move that. So sudo mount urv remount slash. We don't use that. We use a different one. Sudo mv etc 70 fp2 rules, and it's in user lib. Uh, where is this placed? Alexi Android config. Yeah, here it is. It's in user lib Alexi Android config, and we will move it to there.
Oh, right. Oops.
And then do a sudo reboot. And it didn't
That
reboot.
might be in the
Uh,
other. Um, yep, that's in our documentation. Sorry, I gave you the wrong link.
yeah, that's fine. I will do a manual reboot since the normal reboot doesn't seem to be fully there yet. Or maybe it's just slow. I don't know. So now let's see if it boots. Now it should boot. holding it like a pedestal now. Now it probably won't boot at all. It's like, ah, there we go. We see the spinner. Ooh. The spinner. And
It's still a spinner.
still a spinner, yeah. Let's lay it down.
Etsy does also get used by UDev, but I think that Ubuntu Touch picks a specific set of rules to
It still gives the same error.
actually.
So we might actually check if there is something wrong with the 70.
Welcome to the trial and error part of the
This
stream, everyone.
This seems fine. But let's do a So let's check. This is FB2 rules, but let's actually check if it's I do wonder if it okay, let's do a kamikaze mode and
demessage. Bushan is going to do something. He's going to come through that monitor and punch you in the face if you don't run demessage.
yeah, but that doesn't really help because we know what the problem is. It isn't running that for some reason. It fails to load the modem, that's all fine because we haven't removed the context. That's fine, we will do that afterwards. We will just get the graphics working. We will get to the point. The graphics is the first step of all before we get to modem and stuff. But let's do sudo chmod -r. Someone wants to scream now. 77/dev. Don't.
Oh no.
This
Oh no.
is all fine in testing. So now we do restart Unity 8 or start, that is. Maybe not. Maybe we log back in and out because we don't have the session. So then we actually restart LightDM since we don't have the session yet. So someone's gonna come to the monitor and slap me for doing that.
Oh yeah, totally.
So now let's see if it starts Unity 8. I will open the logs just so I don't have to eat crow. Failed to start. Maybe it's not a permission error after all.
Bushan really wants you to check the firmware partition.
No, it has cough. Never mind then. Yeah, I know the firmware presentation is not there, but graphics works anyway, as you can see here. We could do just to check if Unity 8 wants to start at all. We could stop LightDM and do stopping LightDM and do sudo.
That's also another good question. Do you have the user directory in /run?
I do not.
We need to fix that.
So that's basically as this directory then.
I think that's in the porting FAQ that hasn't been moved to the docs yet because I haven't done that.
Oh, that might be why, because it says failed to bind to socket, so that would make sense. So now it boots.
That does make sense.
That does make sense. Oh.
That does make sense. Oh.
Oh, I think it rebooted, but no.
Close enough.
Something went there. I don't know what happened. Now it says permission denied.
Does libdbus helper have the correct permissions?
No, I made a user directory with sudo. That's my fault.
How do we fix this in the image so we don't have to do it manually?
chmod 777. That's
No.
the go-to method. I know it's not correct, but don't don't blame me. Blame the device. So now we're gonna restart LightDM. And now everything will work magically. Hopefully. Okay. So far so good. Oh, oh, oh,
What? It's
oh.
still.
No, but I can see the log. I can see the log. Oh, I can see it's doing something. Wow.
Oh.
Oh man,
Wow.
it died. It died.
Okay.
It
No.
died. It died. But so far so
And it's gone.
no, it's here. It's here. You can see the
It
well.
welcomes you and then crashes.
Something is going on. Something is not correct here. Uh
It's probably location service or something, or maybe the modem. It's like, hello
ah.
world, ow.
Enable to load selected using dummy. That's the test static thing. Okay, that's not fine. No. Why? Why does this happen though? That's weird. This is probably because of the we don't have the thing. I will just check if that's where it crashes at, just to make sure. So it does say welcome, so that's good.
Andrea says, is dbus failing to start?
Is dbus failing to start? Uh,
Since you can't connect to the account session.
there's a lot of permission denied.
You know, you could use tail dash F.
I could, yeah. Okay, it says Q standard press says wrong ownership of runtime directory. That
I
might,
think this issue is documented in the porting FAQ.
yeah.
To the
To
FAQ.
the FAQ we go. We should fix this upstream.
Yes.
Let the device do its thing. It's just going back and forth now. So pad,
It doesn't hurt it to do this.
nah, it just gets hot.
It only hurts your spirit.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
this is
let's.
where the burn your house down part comes in.
Yeah, I put lipo batteries in microwave before. It's fine. I didn't do. This is just an ongoing joke. I didn't do this, but hey.
Make it 0700 rather than 777.
Oh, 700.
Yeah.
Okay, this Unity 8 started vision and crashes. Ah, this should be fixed by adroach files. It's not fixed then.
I'm pretty sure you wrote that, Marius.
Mm, no, I'm this color. I didn't write this, but hey. So that will just ch root that. Okay, I will just copy paste that then. No, what the fuck am I doing?
And shown it to Phablet.
Operation not permitted. That's there we go. After that's after the enable the S bit again with. So restart like DM again. So why does this happen only on hardware devices? That's a good question, I guess.
That is a good question.
Okay, so now actually see if it's correctly. Let's switch to just appear in. Oh, oh,
Oop,
oh! Someone wants to
it
get in.
stayed.
Someone wants to get into a room. Who is? Who will that be? See who? It's
Oh,
not
who,
Kit.
me? Oh, we have a phone. Guys, it is asking us for hello.
Hello.
Your microphone is working.
Your microphone is working. Yes. Look at this, not Kit. I think he's still
I
connecting
don't
with
think
the
he can hear
universe.
us.
Okay, Skype connected here.
Hello.
Oh,
Look at this. We have come far.
You turned off the screen.
No. No. Okay, there we go. So we have already ported to this step on Android 7.
oh wow, nice.
Yeah, I'm seeing now in the, the YouTube clip. I'm triggered on how easy this was. I'm triggered too. I'm not sure why it's this
This is
easy.
very upsetting how this worked so well.
It's not upsetting, but hey.
Oh,
I mean, it is.
oh,
So now SIM card is not. We're gonna fix that SIM card. No network. We're also gonna fix that.
Do you have a SIM card in that device?
No, I do not.
Okay.
So it won't work anyway. Oslo. If I can, it's so small. I need to. Okay, let's just pick Brooklyn.
Ooh. Ooh.
And would you look at that? We have a working Ubuntu Touch
Turn
device.
down the brightness.
Yeah, that's the brightness. Now, that's a little bit better. Look at this. We have
scopes.
We have scopes. We don't have app armor, so browser won't
No,
work.
apps won't run.
But we can run normal apps that's already installed by default, like this.
you don't have what again?
App
We
armor.
don't have app armor.
Okay.
Yeah, just done the basic porting. And we have come to a point now where we have actually shown how, in quotation mark, easy it is to port.
Yeah, it only took us how long?
How about Dalton's Moto G5 or?
We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about this. We do not talk about this device.
But just to comment why it's so easy to port is because this also has been this has been working before, and the Android madness has been fixed up upstream most of the part.
Also, we started from an official Lineage port. One of the big problems that I have with the Moto G5 is I'm trying to use an unofficial port, and I don't think it can ever be added to the official tree because it uses some components that aren't included with Lineage. I think that's why we're having that trouble with the G5 Plus.
It's very hacky. So
wow. So where do we want to go from here? Do we want to get Wi-Fi working?
Yep.
Nexus 5X? Don't you dare talk about the Nexus 5X.
Bushan. Okay, so yeah, let's go to Wi-Fi. Let's go Wi-Fi. I think it's
Let's do Wi-Fi.
Let's do Wi-Fi.
All right.
So then we will move back to our terminal. Let's do a multiple of things. Let's exit out. Let's go to C root. Let's nano device Fairphone FP2, and we will open root. And we will open I think this is fstab, and we will go to modem. This is what Bushan said. We want to remove the context here. So basically,
yes.
Context.
Okay.
And done. Once we have done that, in theory, modem should work.
So that context attribute is an SE Linux attribute that says what programs can access the partition.
Mm-hmm.
Holly and Boot sees those and just says, I don't know how to mount this, goodbye.
Basically, yeah.
I write good software.
I wonder if we can probably do something, a workaround in Holly and Boot where you just copy it, but that's just hacky. Let's not do that. So now we will actually go to GitHub, and I will go to the official ones from Fairphone. Not the official, but the one that we made, because that has a fairly nice script for Wi-Fi, not 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 in dash, but in root. Stop laughing.
I'm sorry.
This has one that's called init VLAN, and it has init Bluetooth, but we don't take Bluetooth yet because we haven't backported the kernel. We will do that afterwards. So we will start with the init VLAN. This is a fairly nice script because I think I wrote it. Uh,
Of course, of course.
and we will vget that into here. We'll also add this to I think it's called fp2, no, lineageOS.m. Oh no, it is
Slow down.
fp2.mk. Yeah, I'm trying to do this fast. You find where the root things are. They are not in here, so then it's in lineage mk.
So
They are not in
in
here
the
either.
meanwhile,
What? Oh, it's in here. Yeah, just continue what you said.
I will try to boot Gemini and continue with the camera.
Oh,
Because I
Oh,
suppose you will get to that point with Fairphone soon as well.
yeah.
yeah. This is not Kit or the Kit or
Yes.
the Kit. He has a lot of different names.
Sorry about that.
He is working on the port to the Gemini PDA and maybe some upcoming things. Hint, hint. Oh, jeez.
Hint, hint.
Hint, hint. We
Hint,
don't
hint.
need to go any further than that. Just hint, hint.
Yes, hint, hint. Okay, so now I've added this. Now I'll just see when when we started. I don't remember what point we started. I don't think it mattered that much. But just to be sure. So we have it on class main. Okay. We will then. Now I added it to the Android MK. The Android MK, it will actually just install it to the image. Now I will add it into. I will actually rename it because I called it init dot VLAN instead of init underscore VLAN, just to give up. I think I also need to chmod this um, to make it executable. I will then add it to init qcom.rc. I will add it to the bottom of this script. I'm basically just copy pasting now. We should also add this to the documentation since it's kind of important. Here I also added it to. I think we have two scripts in here.
I'm not entirely sure where you are, so
I do wonder if we actually have two scripts in this. No, we don't. It's just the script here being a little bit. Why does this says init underscore VLAN underscore Bluetooth, but the script is not called that? Yes, you can see where I'm in here. I'm just trying to figure out what we have done here.
Marius looks back on his code from a year ago.
That's where it is. Okay, we won't need this. We will take the normal script because we don't have Bluetooth, so that's fine. So there we go. Now I go back to the terminals. You can see what I did. I added this now to init.qcom.rc. RC is basically the init system of Android, and if you just execute this file, and I will also cat for nano Android.mk, where you can see I added this to here, where it just outputs it into ATC. We will now go back to C root and do a make -j10 system image. It will now install everything, and while that do that, I will take the device itself and reboot that into. No, actually, while this is doing this, we can fix up some other stuff while this is building. So I will SSH into Bablet. I don't. Why do we use such a weird? Why can't we use an easier IP address?
Because this one comes from Halium, I think.
Ah, is it 82? 82, right? Dot 82.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, since it's in the 10 dot range, we can assign smaller. We're a little bit less likely to stomp on someone else's network.
We can go 15.15.15 and have still pretty good.
That's
I would
someone
prefer
else's
you
IP.
to leave this IP, or we would cause a lot of confusion between old docs, new docs, and everything.
Right. Yeah, that's true. So what we will do now is fix up the scaling here on this device, and that's done by a file in /user /share Ubuntu touch session. No, it's not in here. Ooh, now is my remembering senses. Where did we place the scaling settings?
Oh, that's in the documentation.
Yes.
It's in the it's in the documentation. Let's pull up the documentation.
Also, there is something else that I know is missing from the documentation, where Halium boot will mount from a Halium directory onto the root file system, a few files, and one of them is the config that we're about to do. So,
It's in etc/Ubuntu Touch sessions. Okay. So then sudo nano, nano that file, and fp2.conf, and we will basically copy paste from the documentation. I will switch back here so you can actually see. I will take these two since we only need those two, and it's pretty good in documentation. It says
acting on this.
in the documentation it actually says the scaling of fp2, so that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wait, shouldn't the config file for the Fairphone 2 be in there already?
No, it's in the device thingy.
Okay.
So now we have done that and saved that. I will do the same for android.conf. This basically should be overridable by the system image overlay, but I will do it now. So actually the scaling for the spinner is correct. So now I do sudo reboot-f recovery. That should reboot us to recovery, and you can see it rebooted hopefully to recovery. Now we go
And
back.
it's really bright because this is our boot image.
Yeah.
Boot splash,
Flash.
which is white.
Yeah. So now we're actually going to check if things are that we placed in system image are in etc, and we can see we don't have that. That's not here. Great. Then we need to figure out why it's not here. Why is this not here? What did we do wrong, Dalton? What did I do wrong is more correct saying.
I didn't see if you added a product copy files.
I did.
Okay.
But I added in on Android. It is in here. Oh, it has the it has the module optional, so we have to actually add it to require it.
Is it normal recovery? Yes, it's normal TVP recovery.
So here we actually have to require it. We have to require it so it actually gets built into the image. If not, where do I get the backward slash? I have it on English keyboard, but it's there we go. It's on Norwegian keyboard, but I have it on English. Good. C root. Now everything should be handy and fine.
Yeah.
I say. Some phone is angry.
We trust you.
That's a massive mistake, Dalton.
You let us into this. We're gonna get out of it.
So now I should also get a SIM card ready. But hey, let's do that afterwards. I don't know where my my spare SIM card is. It's in one of the devices. But hey,
I can send you mine. Here, just a second. Here, just.
yeah, that's totally gonna work that fast.
We're just gonna put it through the camera.
There we go. Can you?
Here you go. Just take it. There you go.
Hopefully in some years that will be possible. So here the init.vlan is, and we will actually select init.rqcom.rc, and we can see this in here, and we will actually check if this points to the correct one. Just copy this. Copy, I said ls, and we do ls, and that points to the correct one. We can now continue with our journey of adb push system.image to data, and it's in system.image.
Is it?
It's pushing.
I'm not gonna show you the number on the other side of the car. I am almost kind of smart. Let me go get my credit card while I'm at and just show that on stream too.
Yeah, why not? But you live in
What could go
America, so
wrong?
you can't really draw much without calling your bank.
That was a story.
That was the story, indeed. So now I did a reboot. Let's see if this. Oh, it won't boot.
What?
I did an opsi.
What'd you do?
I pushed the image directly without making it.
You didn't make it.
Ah, okay.
I didn't make it a sparse image.
No, you need to convert it, yes, from sparse to raw.
But that's what I get for not using the script that I talked about earlier.
Uh-huh.
So it's out target product fp2 system. So this is the script that I talked about earlier, which is called replace Android system, and that's gonna do. Now it's converting it from sparse image and doing everything correctly. So yeah, that's what I'm getting from not using or eating my own words.
Okay.
Okay, now it should boot fine.
He said moments before the device failed to boot.
But this time, it's true.
But this time, I believe in it.
So let's SSH back into it. So why is it not starting? I don't know.
It'll start, probably.
Yeah, no errors at least, so I guess it's just being slow. So something here went wrong, I think. Failsafe
Oh, the run directory got deleted again.
Oh, right. No, but
Because it's in...
yeah, but that's fine. Since it should have no, it's rebooting. It's rebooting. Something else went wrong. Since it should have shown system compositor. So something with the container went wrong. Oh, there
You
it
broke
goes.
it.
There it go. It was just a random oopsie. So now we can see the scaling is correct, but the run directory we need to fix again. So I will just take from the porting the run directory. It does say something about run here. Does it not say anything about run? Oh yeah, it does. But
Poor failsafe has no idea
wait,
what's going on.
wait, it started.
Oh, oh,
Why? I don't know.
your password was 1111.
Yeah. Okay, so now the scaling is correct. And do
It
we have?
looks good.
We don't have Wi-Fi. So
Try putting those commands in manually. The ones that are in the Halium documentation. We'll see if that does anything.
yeah, I'm actually looking at the script now. This script probably won't. I'm not sure if this script actually would. That's permission denied. So
The normal thing to do, and the Halium documentation I think recommends this, is to
okay,
put the
it
two
works.
commands, the echo sta and whatever, into init.rc.
So it does work.
Okay,
And I have
Wi-Fi is up.
Wi-Fi is up.
Wi-Fi is up, everyone.
Wi-Fi is up. We just need to make it come on by default.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why my script didn't work. But hey. Yeah, I don't know why my script didn't work.
This is the sound of a man who's given up.
Not yet. Not yet. Okay, cool. While Wi-Fi is still not 100% working, I think we can move on since Wi-Fi is just a script that's not automatically initting it. So we know Wi-Fi is actually working. I type in my password.
Don't type in your password on stream.
Yeah, I won't. This is working surprisingly smooth.
Yeah, mm. It's weird.
Yeah,
Maybe this is the difference between having a real Lineage port and not.
yeah, definitely. Now you can see
Also,
Wi-Fi is
it's
up.
about input. But
Huh?
it didn't even run into the bus issue, like when you have to make some folder,
Oh, the bus.
which causes yes.
It is in the porting documentation.
It's in the FAQ. It needs to be actually fixed, though.
Yeah, needs to be fixed.
That is another good side effect of doing this, is we're finding the bugs that we need to fix.
I don't know why that works on normally but don't on this. That I don't understand.
Yeah.
But hey, so what's the next step? Are you gonna do backporting of kernel?
Why do you need to backport?
Because we need Wi-Fi,
Bluetooth.
Bluetooth, and
And app armor.
app armor.
Oh, should we get apps running and maybe...
And we can also try media, but then we need app armor first anyway. So.
I'd vote for media.
So
Well, we need
yeah,
app armor to do that. Let's do app armor.
let's do app armor and kernel backporting. So this is
Yay.
this is the non-fun part of things.
Oh, most of this wasn't fun.
It went fairly smooth. So we're going to the kernel. I wonder if there is documentation on this. Is there? Or if
No.
there is no documentation about this. Ooh.
We could also do modem, but Bushan said.
Yeah, modem is probably maybe working already. I don't know.
You don't know where your SIM card is, do you?
No, but I can check if LS firmware permission denied. Okay, so this is here. Does something complain here? A lot of things complaining, but hey. This is all fine. VLAN is fine. It's fine. Fine. A lot of error. Blah 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 blah. I don't care. I don't see anything complaining here though. It fails to set some properties, but I do maybe believe it's working. Actually, let me go get my see if I can find my SIM card. You go ahead and entertain the people.
Oh, wonderful. So not Kit, I think you're coming to FOSDEM?
Again?
You're coming to FOSDEM?
Yes, I do.
Alright. This is gonna be a party. Bhushan's gonna be there, Marius is gonna be there, I'm gonna be there, as long as, you know, air travel doesn't shut down in the next week in the States.
So when does everyone arrive to the Brussels?
I'll be arriving Friday, actually. Pretty early.
Okay, I'm going to be late. Let me check one.
Okay. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do after I get there, but that's a problem for future me. Yeah, I think your volume is better now. Sorry, headphone users, when you first joined. Our stream is skewing pretty quiet, but I think we'll fix that in future streams. What are you excited for at FOSDEM? Anything? You going to any talks or anything?
Not really.
Yeah. You're arriving on the 1st. Bhushan's arriving on the 1st. Okay. I'm most excited to see the Pine 64 people.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna... Do they have a room reserved at some point, don't they? I need to check the schedule again.
Okay, so I arrived to Brussels on Friday as well.
Okay. What time? About?
8:15 a.m.
Oh, sweet. We're gonna be, like, right behind each other.
But I think you arrived to different airport. I arrived to Charleroi.
Right.
Because it's low coster.
We'll find each other somehow.
I hope so.
Hopefully. This schedule is a thing. Ah, they have a booth. That's what's going on.
I found it.
You found it. Good work. Don't show the number on stream.
Why not? We'll be fine. No one.
Oh man, you get to do just one flight hop. I have to lay over both ways. Turns out it's kind of hard to get over the Atlantic Ocean. Who knew?
Who knew? I also have to change plane. In Amsterdam.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because there's no direct flight. Well, Amsterdam is fine. It's just 1 hour, and basically you just have time to find the damn plane. Well,
This can be a problem if one plane gets late.
Yeah. But usually they have that under control. It's KLM after all. They are pretty nice with that. So. Some might disagree, but hey, KLM have been nice to me so far. So now...
Does the radio work? This is the question we are asking.
I don't know if it's doing the same thing as it did before now. It's probably Ubuntu location service that's making it camera is doing surprising things here.
You can't use the camera. There's no way.
No, but it starts it at the Android side, so that's good. Okay, so yeah, it's in it rebooted. Some service is not happy. Probably Ubuntu location service, I would assume, because that's a thing that usually is a problem.
Okay, rotation needs to be fixed. Currently, UbiPort's logo on Gemini is upside down because it supports only 90-degree rotation and I need 270.
Ooh.
The spinner can't do upside down?
No. It has the case only for 90 degrees.
Yeah.
I'm going to check the code on that one.
I checked.
Yeah.
Believe me.
I thought there was a way to do portrait flipped.
Yeah, I will remove Ubuntu location service because we are not doing GPS today because that's a tricky one.
How to show it?
Don't drop it. Yeah, that's very flipped over.
Oh, it's rebooted before I got to do that. Great.
Good work.
Yeah, Ubuntu location service is
It takes me like 2 reboots after clean boot, so the system boots probably because of crashes.
yeah.
Something crashing race condition. Yeah.
Great.
I'm not really sure how much we want to do with spinner.
Probably replace it with a more friendly library than raw HGL.
Well, exactly, because we need to replace it with the mirror upgrade anyway. We won't have the compositor anymore. We'll have to find some way to do it, but it won't be that.
What did I write there?
How do you usually test video playback on UbiPorts? Just with media player or something more fancy?
Yeah, the media player is.
Because media player just opens, says please choose a file to open, and I choose the file, nothing happens.
Right, and it's probably something going on with GStreamer. GStreamer is probably not finding the correct plugin or something like that.
Yes.
But you can also use GStreamer directly to initialize it.
Last time I remember I could get video decoding working to raw file, but I think Media Hub is still freezing.
Ah. Okay, so it seems that that was the problem, Ubuntu location service, because now it starts just fine.
Nice.
Cool. We see a denied access from telepathy of phono. I think that should be fine. That's just a TTY. And we do not have any signal. We don't have any sound either. But that's so let's see.
By the way,
it says no SIM card.
For the device we cannot name yet, did you have to use Wayland library from Arch in current rootfs, or we have solved the issue somehow, some other way?
What?
For unlocking, had you still used Wayland library from Arch, or there's another solution?
I I think I used the one from Arch. I think I did, yeah. I think I just replaced that.
I wonder if Ophono logs in syslog, so you might want to look for it over there.
Yeah, it might also spawn its own log entry, so I can check that also. What thing is falling down here? Get it. So no, it does not log Ophono. We probably need to enable that. But I will check syslog. There is no syslog. Great. So I need to touch that. Touch syslog. Once you touch syslog, it should start filling in. I'm not sure if you need a reboot. You probably need a reboot. But I think what we should do first is enable logging on Ophono. And I will check the documentation to do that. There was a great Ophono documentation on the official documentation. Ophono development page.
Would we actually have to upgrade to Selfish version of Phono for Android 8, for example?
We may.
You may, but I think it just used the real D sockets. I'm not sure.
Well, on Android 8, it's not sockets anymore, it's binder.
Right.
Right. Everything is binder now.
Binder.
Override it to add arguments -nd.
Yeah, but there was a handy script to do that. That's what I'm searching for. So there we go. There it is. It's sudo sed. This one. And etc init Ophono. Ophono override will it be then?
Yes.
Remount slash and sudo start Ophono. Ophono.log. It's not here. Dalton, what's going on?
Hmm.
So that seems fine. Is dash D or dash big D?
-nd.
Dash ND?
But it's logging to syslog, and since your syslog is empty, we have something else happening.
Can you not tell it to log in the file itself? That would be cleaner.
I think it always uses syslog.
Std out. Ophono, can you std out? Don't run as Andy, just don't run as a daemon in the background. Okay. That might work, yeah. We might need to reboot then. So sudo. I wonder if syslog want to appear now. Going down for reboot now. This is taking too long to reboot. I'll do it, man. Hold it in.
It'll be fine. But if syslogs isn't running, then we have bigger problems.
Yeah. Syslog is still empty. God damn it.
Is it running?
Maybe in dmessage.
No.
It will not turn to dmessage.
No.
What did you call it?
Syslog D?
Is it called syslog D?
Yes.
See, my knowledge of all this is lacking. Because it's not called syslog D. It's not even called syslog.
Isn't it? Is this called syslog? Oopsies.
It's not even called syslog. I think it's called something wrong.
You do need to use sudo because it's managed not by
Yeah, I know.
I think even if Ophono is run manually, it won't output logs to the terminal.
Yeah, that will be the same as running it with that anyway.
Why it won't? You have an option.
Yeah, it's
switch
our
to
syslog
output
D.
logs.
Ours, of course.
Right.
What you said?
I don't think, even if it's not demonized, I don't think it puts anything out to terminal.
It can put if you specify the switch like verbose or
What if we
something like
broke
this.
something?
But you have a separate environmental variable for the Ophono real plugin debug.
Now we have Ophono log here. Okay. It does spit out now. Cool. Okay. It seems okay. It seems fine. Okay, so the thing that it fails on is get property value. So we need that patch. But else than that, it seems fine.
But why it's not merged? You should do it somehow.
Sudo.
Nice. It seems fine here. Ophono seems fine.
Just using the real D socket is real D running.
But I'm a little bit skeptical about the get property value error reply to get.
That's a similar problem that we're having with the Moto G5 Plus, so maybe we'll need to do some more investigation on that.
Unity 8 or Mir Compositor?
What?
Is the property problem with Unity, Mir server or something else?
It might be everything. Because if we just run getprop, normally it doesn't ask about... it doesn't try to look at the sockets at all. It just looks in the files and then quits.
Okay, that's good. So for me, the media is freezing on the decoding servers, entering service instance.
Why is the device not booting anymore? Okay, so there is a different service that's it's not Ubuntu location service.
Yeah, it might be a race. There it goes. Might be a race condition.
But I think the property get is the missing patch that we've discovered, isn't it? Not the one that
Which is merged in Halium's Ophono. It might not be in ours though.
What's that? The patch
The
to put
patch that you're talking about.
Not that one, the one to get the property.
Oh.
Oh no. So, well, this is patched in Helium system. That's one that's already in here. That's fine. That's not the one that I'm.
Okay.
Keeps on rebooting.
It's probably fine.
Um.
What is the deal? Ophono isn't starting correctly, or it isn't opening modems, or something's going on here. It does have a failure trying to get a property, though.
So SSH is completely stuck at get password. God damn.
Was syslog disabled before?
Yeah, but we have logs now, so now it's fine.
Right, but was it disabled and you enabled it?
Syslog, no. I just
Okay.
touch the file and it usually works, but apport config main process terminated with status 1.
That's fine.
That's making it reboot though.
Oh.
Failsafe main init kill it return. I don't know what's failing here, what's making it fail, but
That would be an Android side.
okay. Alright, it's another side, right? No, it failsafe
Yes.
main. Uh, it's a race condition, definitely, yeah. Now we get over. Now you can see the real, how it's really done.
Yeah.
This is how it usually goes.
How really upset you get doing this.
Yeah. Oh,
I love that error slot 2 has some other sensor. We don't know what it is, it's just there.
it's just some sensors. Just some sensors. So let's now actually check our phone log. Now that the device is booted. And it says uh, it talks with everything okay. So I do wonder if this is just us needing to make sure a phone knows it's two SIM cards. So I need to fix that since I might.
Oh, that comes from the config inside the device image.
No, we can set it here too.
Well, yes, but
So real. Yeah, I need to get out of here because I need to sudo.
good night, Bouchon.
Good night. So I need to set this to 2 real slots and
It's an override, yeah.
I'm restarting a phone. I might need to restart the whole device, but hey. Seems like I might need to do that because this is hanging. I can also just see what port I put it in. No, that's not to do that. This is hanging. So sudo reboot. Let's go through the whole reboot loop.
Did you just drop the phone?
I didn't. I just dropped it on my keyboard. I didn't drop it far. Oh. This stream has been going on for
We're 2 hours and 30 minutes in.
2 hours and 80 minutes.
30.
it says 18 here, but hey. Now we just wait. This is the fun part. Waiting.
Mm-hmm. This is the good part.
This is how it usually porting goes. So,
Mm-hmm. But we have found a lot of things out from this, like better ways to get the kernel set up and documentation that needs to be done, bugs that need to be fixed. So
mhm.
that's good.
So while this is doing that, I think I can do the kernel work that I wanted to do. Fairphone. While this is rebooting. And then,
It occurs to me that I did forget something though. I was going to have a stopwatch running and hit timers where we were doing interesting things so that I could come back later and mark all the spots where things happened.
ah,
Oops.
oopsie. So I will just pull up the original one. I would probably just do a. Have you already? It seems like someone already have done a Holly import on FB2.
I don't believe so. Only 5.1.
Hmm.
Let me check.
There's a device for Holium 7.1, so I guess we are doing dual work.
But that makes things a little better anyway.
Yeah, the point was to make check everything.
It's last modified in 2017.
Okay, so it's probably not finished. Finished. I will find out where I actually did the backporting so I can get the correct.
Apparently, it's going to be raining or snowing every day of FOSDEM.
Oh, that's nice.
That's good.
That is nice.
Well, there is still a week, so it can change if we are lucky or not.
Yep. It'll be warmer than it is here either way.
And what is the weather where you are right now?
What are we up to now? 19 below Celsius.
Oh, like Russia.
It's cold. It's really cold.
That's such
In
a
this
cool.
office, that wall and that wall are exterior, so this room is really cold.
Okay.
So
What's going on here, Marius?
I think I will just take the original backboard patch that we did from. I will see here what the Ubuntu Foundation, as they called it, Foundation, which is the original backporting tool thingy that they did.
Mhm.
And let's do that.
So you think we'll get apps running and then maybe we head it off for the night, day,
Yep,
afternoon,
some
wherever it is where you are?
something like that. Patches. So where is the patch? It's so. Yeah, this is. How is this done? Yeah, I will just fetch this from that one. So let's go through. I wonder if I had that downloaded. Halium? No. Do I have the Ubuntu 3? No, I do not. I probably have it on my SSD. ports, 7.1 clean, kernel, Fairphone. I want to
Send me
see.
a link to these patches. I'll put them in the docs.
Yep, will do. So git format patch. Bang. Bad object. Git checkout. UV ports 5.1. Bad object. Why are you complaining? Oh, it's a shallow clone.
Right.
How to unshallow that? I don't remember.
Git fetch dash dash unshallow.
Cool. Oh, that was quick. Still
Your
not,
internet is too good.
still not here though, but I probably need to check it out again.
Yes, you are. You have a detached head.
My head is not detached.
Yes, it is. That is how repo always syncs your branches. Is it
No,
detaches them all.
you didn't get the joke.
I didn't need to.
Why does it? What? No, it's
What?
git. Is it using the correct remote? Yeah. Oh, this is the OnePlus I'm in. I'm not in Fairphone. Oh god. I'm
Good
stumbling
work.
around my own words here. I'm getting tired, it seems like. Oh god. Okay, I didn't want all these patches. No space left on device. Great. Fucking hell.
You just ran out of space on your computer.
Oh my.
Oh my.
It has like 800 patches. Ugh. No, over that.
It's a good thing you aren't writing to the disk as well, because that would have just killed the stream.
Okay, so good. So how do I format just one patch? Jesus Christ. This is my Git knowledge of not knowledgeable.
If Bluetooth MAC address is shown in the About tab, does it mean Bluetooth is working now?
What?
If I see Bluetooth address in About page, does it mean Bluetooth should be working now?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
While we were working, did you seriously just get Bluetooth working on the Gemini?
I tried to get media working, but I noticed that maybe Bluetooth is working as well.
Yeah, just throw that on. No problem.
Okay, so it's -1. Okay, now we have the patch. That took way too
Good
long than
work.
it should have.
Good work.
That took so much longer. Nope.
But because it took longer for you, we're going to have it for everyone else now.
Yeah. So now you're gonna CP media grip UV ports UBP one. No, it's in SSD UBP
You're
5.1.
just saying words at this point.
Yeah, I'm trying to not make it awkward. So where did it? Oh, it's not in Fairphone, man. I'm a bit slow today. I see Dalton want to comment that. So git am, and that did apply successfully. Why?
Wow. Didn't expect that.
That why did it do that successfully? I don't know.
Build it.
Wait a minute. I need to check if there was more patches that was needed. Yeah, it's this one, the close. I need to fetch that one. And it's the one to actually enable it in the make file. And that's we're gonna actually pull from here. So I need to copy it first. It's probably a good idea. Ubuntu source close, that one I need, and then I need to get this one, and then git am null1 Ubuntu source git am null enable backport patch port patch format detection. Okay, so this is patch p1 probably. Reverse of previously applied patch detected. Okay, so we don't need to do that. That means it already applied, doesn't it? I hope so. Yeah, it's already applied. Cool, 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 cool.
Nice.
Now we need to go back. Since I can't use my first terminal, since that was crashed with, I need to launch again. It's not here. Breakfast. Breakfast.
Breakfast.
How the fuck do you spell that? Break fast.
Break fast.
Break fast. That doesn't work.
Break fast.
Oh God. Okay.
Why breakfast instead of lunch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how do you
Hopefully
spell
this
it?
works,
It
because
doesn't work.
otherwise Marius is going to fall asleep on stream. And I can't stop the stream.
So how do you spell this?
EAK. BREAKFAST.
B-R-E.
Why don't you just do Control R and search for lunch? You've already used that.
Yeah, but that terminal died. So it doesn't save the history.
Oh, that's right.
Ah! Okay, lunch. Let's just use lunch. But I don't remember how to spell LineageOS. Ah! Fucking English.
No one knew that the problem would actually be that he just couldn't spell.
Okay, I will try. Lineage. FP2. If it was Norwegian, it would be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Halium. Actually, I need to check if the configuration actually has the thing to do the thing in it. And the device has rebooted, and SIM isn't still not working. Cool. We need to go to arch arm config lineageOS, and I wonder if this script actually added this automatically or if we need to add it manually. We need to go to the bottom, and it did not, so we need to add this manually. Cool, 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 cool.
I think I'm gonna leave you for the moment. Let's see if I can get something with media at the closing code display. See you later.
Okay. Okay, then that's added there. And we also probably need to disable the default one. These ones we need to disable. bnap. We need to disable everything that's not backported.
Oh, yeah.
Bang, 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 bang. I'm sorry for not explaining too much, but I'm just disabling stuff.
Yeah, and we could put this in the docs what actually is going on.
Yeah.
With the configs and the patches and everything so that we can actually get this nailed down.
Yeah.
And this is only for 3.4, reminder. Devices with the newer kernel will have different backports that'll need to be done.
Yep. But this patch probably should work fine since it has all the it has some magic in it. So I gonna explain that.
Okay. That makes sense. It doesn't make sense at all, by the way.
It doesn't.
Let's see. I think AppArmor was upstreamed before 4.4.
Yep. So the AppArmor patch is gonna be a little bit hacky.
Oh, we need patched AppArmor. We can't just use the upstreamed one in 4.4.
Exactly.
Okay. That'll be interesting.
So it's gonna be a little bit of wait a minute. It doesn't seem like we patched AppArmor in this version of No, I did. I did. I did. Of course I did. Okay, so we are all these patches. I will. We probably can just provide the patch files. So I will just.
Yeah, that'd be best.
Git format this. This is all from Ubuntu source. It's the original OG. Actually, let's make this so we can make sure it compiles with backports first. That's a good idea.
I think this room is getting colder.
Yeah, I think it's getting colder here too. It failed to build. Who knew?
Ah, dang. All of this just to get apps running on a device that already booted.
Well, this is to make Bluetooth work in the backport thingy.
That also.
That is complaining about that. This is a little bit of kernel hacking. I will check the original one. It has the thing to do the thing in it. But I think we got pretty much the basic things sorted in this.
Look at those errors.
So that is good that we actually got this pretty nicely working.
I mean, it booted. That was surprising.
Yep.
How did it boot? We don't know.
Why did it boot? We don't know.
Don't know. It's a good question.
Don't know, I'm not gonna question it either. So we are basically going to nano now, to kernel Fairphone FP2, and we're gonna nano backport. Backports include ASM, DMM mapping. This is all stuff that I have done before that I basically just look at how I did it. So we're just gonna simply remove that. Just get it out of the way. And close that file. Then the next one is nano backports compat backports 3.10 C get random init. This one we are going to remove. Bang.
Nice.
And we are going to do the same for lit page. We are just gonna simply just remove that. Just go away with you. Then we do the same thing for. This is also what comes back to the weird kernels that we have, since they are so. Yeah. So yeah. So we had 3.6. Why is 3.6 not in here? It's called compat.3.6. And we are gonna remove.
You obviously know what you're doing here, so
I hope so.
I'm a spectator as much as the few people watching.
I will remove these called whoopsie. Done. Removed whoopsie. C root, and we are gonna build it again. This is all to get Bluetooth working, by the way. The kernel. And we might have to add another kernel driver that I remember. So we need the Bluetooth SMD driver. So we're also gonna do that. So that's made complete. We're probably gonna try without it because it probably won't work, but we have done the heavy lifting at least. Now we will go back into kernel, Fairphone FP2 and do the thing for the app armor. So we're gonna cp that. That's Ubuntu source no up git am no 1 Ubuntu source no up. This did not cleanly apply. God damn it. Okay. Why did that not cleanly apply? I don't know. Fetch failed.
Well, just see if this boots first. Let's see if it works.
Yeah, that's probably but we need a backporting. So I guess what I can do is do a hack for now and do security up armor and just copy whatever we got. A little bit hacky, but just copy everything. Here we go. That's a massive hack, but I love it.
Good work. Good work.
We like hacking.
No, we don't. But
we like a little bit hacking. Little bit hacking is good. But this should also be fine. It wasn't fine. All right, it needs the include too. Right. That's true. It needs the new include. Well, hey, actually, I can fetch this patch from the actual Fairphone source tree. That's because I did the same here. Okay, let's do that then. There we go. I see I removed those patches, but that's fine. There we go.
Hmm.
Git am. Git am.
Please.
What what's that called? That's abort. Am. This also failed.
Well, maybe we won't get this done today.
Maybe not. Isn't it a different command than git am? I don't remember what that was.
Git apply.
Git apply. You can try using that. It says a new blank line. Error, failed to apply. Jesus. New blank line. Hmm. But we can do git am reject. Is it that what it's called? Is
I'm
it
not sure.
git apply reject? Okay. Wait for rejects. Okay, so it's not that bad. So it was only one file that reacted.
Nice.
So that's not. What did I do there? God damn it. There we go, and I open the React file and then nano the actual file itself. Let's go through and see why this didn't. Does it say the line number here? It says line number 8, no, 385. This should be profiled unconfirmed. Unconfirmed.
Having a good time?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Before this, this is always a little bit.
This is the tricky part. Yep.
This is the tricky part. That's indeed. The next one I just. That's already applied. And now we go to 451. And that says git it's on get buffers. Where is that? This is maybe clean x index. There is one x. Okay, it's here. It's here. Copy paste this one. Remove the pluses, plus. Bang, 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 bang. Good, goody. And after that, in here we add that after error. Remove the plussy. There we go. Now we go to 602. This is really boring, I know. But this is what you have to do when React comes along and bite you. So this should be, we should remove a profile and paste that in there. And then under error, this already seems to apply pretty nicely, so that's good. But it can't have because it's in the React file. But it's there. Okay. So it removes that one and adds these things. It's basically copy paste here. You just manually have to find where they should be. So it's no magic. A little bit magic, but no major magic. So this should be unconfiled label instead of profile.
This is interesting. I'm glued to my seat.
It's
I might actually be frozen to my seat, but you know.
It's really interesting, I know.
It's really cold in here.
This is the most interesting. 747. And that should be under after label. Label cred. So this seems like it's already applied. No, maybe not. Yeah, enable this and that should go away, and this in. And I'm done. Let's do a git diff. I'll actually just do c root and try to build this sucker. Is this gonna work to build? Probably not, but hey.
Probably not. But I think this will be about our last try.
Yeah, probably. Oh, it failed. Who knew?
That
Yeah, this is gonna be a thing to fix.
little more work than this.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we'll end it off then.
Yep. We will end it off.
I was gonna try to make a build for the Shamu. After seeing this, there's no way I can pull it off. I don't think that's so true. Shamu Nexus 6. So other people have already worked on that, I believe. It's worth a try, especially with other people who are working on it. Excuse me. I think it would be worth trying.
Yeah, don't worry about the kernel things. There's always someone that can help out with that because you don't really
And
need.
Shamu has kernel 3.10, so it'll be different than this.
Yeah, really easier.
A little easier, yeah, for sure.
These
Okay.
older kernels are a bit
worse.
Yeah.
And they're going to be a problem when we move Ubuntu Touch to a different base because systemd doesn't support this old of a kernel anymore. So it's going to be really interesting what we get to when we get to upgrade Ubuntu to, it'll probably be 2004 Ubuntu Touch.
But hey, look at this. We have a working device within how many hours? 3 hours?
Yeah, that only took 2 hours to get, and the rest of it has just been us trying to fix this.
Yeah. I did expect us to leave without this, but hey, this
right?
This is actually pretty nice.
This is really good. And I think that with the information that we have, we'll improve the documentation so people who come in the future will have a better luck with this. All right, we are at 2 hours and 59 minutes. Thank you, everyone, for watching this live porting session with both myself and Marius and Nikita as our special guest working on the Gemini PDA. This has been interesting. Whether you think good or bad, let us know in the comments at just down below. You can leave a like if you want, or dislike if you hate us. That's also okay. I.
Ooh, I think the device died. Well, let's leave it at that.
Yeah,
Oh
just
no,
throw the device down.
it didn't die. Well, anyway.
Thank you again for watching. I think we're gonna be doing this again sometime.
Yeah.
Pick some part of the device to work on and just get it done. So there's the dog in the background. I think it's she's telling me stop. So see y'all everyone later.
I will do
Bye
that.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.